All right, everybody. We got another very special guest for y'all. I want everybody to please welcome to the show, Brandon Starocci. Welcome, Brandon.
How you doing? Love the applause there.
To video listeners, yes, I just got out of the gym. Sorry, I don't usually the show, but here we are. Showing off the assets, not much of them. So, Brandon, we're going to talk about Avalon, which is your project you're working on. But I got to start you off from the beginning, the origin story. Got you into comics. When did you decide you want to start writing these things?
Yeah, wasn't a big comic person kind of growing up and all of that. So it wasn't like first instinct to kind of do that with Avalon. Originally, the idea I had it way back in high school, my senior year in high school, to be more specific. It was supposed to be a movie. Didn't really know what to do with the idea. It wasn't what it was today until a couple years go by. I met Alan Dingfelder, and then we kind of collaborated with the idea. With the whole business idea that we have and the Avalon idea as well. It was supposed to be a novel after that. Then I kind of told him, I was like, I don't really like reading books. I don't want to see a lot of words on page. I'd rather see it kind of play out. And I was at this point, I was a Walking Dead fan and then like a Batman fan as well. So it kind of like when I was looking at him, it kind of just hit with me, and I shot Alan the question, how about we just do a comic with this? And he was on board, and here we are.
So your only experience is like Walking Dead and maybe some Batman?
Yeah, but wait, before all of this too. So since I started Avalon, I got a way more of an appreciation and kind of like a love for comics then. And after, kind of writing it and, seeing how much goes into it, I've started getting different, different comics, again, more different kinds of Batmans. And then I actually started steering away and going towards more horror. When I found out there was like a Crazies comic book, I found out there was like a 30 Days of Night comic and all of those. So kind of things along that nature. And then other indie comic creators as well. Since I started the Kickstarters, I kind of started to get to know a lot of different people as well, and invest in their comics and invest in their stories. And I'm in love with kind of the stuff I'm reading right now.
Yeah, if you love horror, like
yeah,
there's such a huge horror group in comics now. It's unbelievable.
Definitely.
So I mean, yeah. So you've been checking out a bunch of different stuff. You're in the field now. I guess the best place to start is what is Avalon? Like, what's the story about?
Yeah, Avalon is a post-apocalyptic zombie story that follows the Castle family as a whole, and you kind of follow their journey through their nightmarish journey as they're kind of going through a bunch of different obstacles and crazy chaos things with the zombie-ridden world. And with that as well, we're really focusing on not so much of a hero's journey per se. It's really the whole family being the main protagonist. So we really stick true to that and stretching out the depths of each one of these characters as well, and being very diverse with the storytelling and really giving each one of these characters like a lead feel to it as well. So there's not one specific person we're telling the story about. It's the whole family. And we're really focusing on things like mental health and physical health issues that people deal with on a day-to-day basis as well.
And that was something I actually wanted to really get in on because I was reading up about the book, and that's one of the things you really put on there is that the struggles with anxiety, depression, ongoing health, which are all things that are super important to me. We just talked about, I just got out of the gym. I'm also someone who suffers from very severe depression. So why is that something you wanted to tell in the story?
Like you kind of mentioned, a lot of people deal with it. It's a really a day-to-day kind of thing that people deal with all the time. Many people do at this point. I have family members, I deal with certain aspects of it as well on my own kind of level. And really the way I look at it too, with the zombie kind of story, that's a lot of that stuff's going to be present, and it's going to be like a very harsh topic in a zombie story as well. Because if we kind of backtrack a little bit and on a smaller level than a zombie apocalypse with COVID, a lot of people dealt with a lot of different mental health stuff. A lot of people had anxieties and depressions because of it, and all the stuff going on with that. And when you add flesh-eating zombies to it, I can only imagine that heightens it just a little bit more. So it's really adding all that stuff. And PTSD is a big one as well into these characters' lives. They're going to be dealing with a lot of life altering issues, with death in the family. I'm not really spoiling anything because it's a zombie comic. People are going to die, so it's watching these characters. How are they coping with that in such a hectic first 6 issues here as well that we're telling? There's just a lot of chaos, a lot of madness, and it's really just kind of shining a light on people who deal with that every single day as well. And it's not, it's just a very real and raw thing in real life, and being able to apply that into this kind of genre, I think fits perfectly, and that's why we're doing it.
Yeah, I mean that hits true, because I can think of a lot of people don't understand when you're dealing with depression. Like, you could be doing the most mundane things possible, like stuff that we all do every day and we all just have to deal with, and you can just be like, I'm done, I don't want to do it anymore, I don't want to. And it can lead down this spiral. I can only imagine when a undead creature is coming towards me.
Right. So I mean, that's what I'm saying. There's different levels to it. There's different, levels to, anxieties, depressions for those 2 topics mainly, and again, there's different levels to physical, setbacks and that people deal with. Like, there's diabetes, there's cancers, there's sicknesses that people deal with, and they need medications to kind of get through day-to-day life. What happens when zombie apocalypse kind of breaks out, and that's kind of like the big question there too. And being able to write about it and showcase that in the story, and that being the center focus as well, has been a very fun, a fun thing to kind of break down and break into as well, because that just, again, to me, brings out the realness and the rawness of this world.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you do see a little bit of that in like stuff like The Walking Dead, where they have to get like different medications to help with infections and everything. But yeah, they don't. I mean, to be real, the assumption would be someone with like, is it type 1 diabetes where you have to inject insulin, or is that type 2?
I have to double check it again, but I think
whichever one that is.
Yeah.
I would assume that people in that state probably don't make it long. I mean, I don't mean to laugh at that, but
well, that's right. That's the harsh reality of it as well. And what happens when you can't, and like you said, The Walking Dead touched on it on just a brief story, and they do touch on a lot of these aspects as well. So I'm not sitting here making a point that, okay, Avalon's that much different, but what separates us to just that bit more is that that's going to be interwoven in the story constantly. That's going to be the story constantly. It's not like a plot point for a little bit and then it's gone, and and that kind of disappears or whatever. So that's just, these are going to be always kind of the things that are told in this world in Avalon. So it's just going to bring that honest truth to the world constantly, because this world is going to be hard. It's not going to be easy. There's going to be a lot of chaos and other things of that nature too going on.
Another thing you said that I thought was interesting, because I'm a big zombie fan, so I'm one of the 2 people on the planet that's not sick of zombies, Star Wars, and Marvel. Still love all these things, but I've watched a lot of zombie movies. I've read a lot of zombie comics, so on and so forth. I can't think of anyone who's dealt with PTSD, and that's very interesting, because not only is it very relevant. I don't know how old you are, but you're probably a little bit younger than me. I'm of the war on terror generation, so I know plenty of people that served and are dealing with that. But not only that, you do add it to your story, and it's like, yeah, why wouldn't people have severe PTSD when they're bashing brains in all day?
Yeah. I mean, even I'm sure people can get used to it as well, but then it alters your lifestyle, because okay, one for a year you're working behind a desk, having a family and doing normal things, okay, and then the next day or next year, say apocalypse happens and a year goes by and you're just smashing brains, you're just surviving and all that stuff, all that life altering stuff, and then when it sticks to you, it makes you a different person, and it just, you're either going to be numb to things, you could go into a PTSD state of mind where it's like, okay, you have to bash somebody's head open or something, and it just it triggers a feeling, so there's so many different deals going on with it that we can play with in the story that we're telling too, that is very interesting. It gets left out many times in other stories as well. They're only brushed over, but these are going to be big plot points for us, and it's very exciting to kind of see that aspect in a zombie story. Me being a huge fan myself, but it's exciting to kind of see that.
Definitely. It all sounds very interesting. So you're currently going on Kickstarter. You're going for issue 6.
Yep.
How did the first 5 Kickstarters go?
So we successfully funded all of our Kickstarters. And with that, each time, obviously, the goal is to kind of get more and more kind of support as we go on, which we have, which was great. And to have all the people that have helped us in the past as well kind of get funded and kind of get it out there so we can be here today. We wouldn't be here today, I guess, with not having those people that support us along the way. But we've succeeded with all of them. We're here today. We're about to start our launch our issue 6 Kickstarter here, and we're pretty excited about it. We got a lot of cool stuff to kind of wrap up because this will be the finale of the season 1. So a lot of cool things to wrap up and a lot of questions to kind of spark up everybody's interest for season 2.
Definitely. And looking through some of the issues real quick, I was looking at the art, and I guess we should do a quick, if you want to shout out the art team, I always think that's a great thing to do, but also like talk about how you met up with your art team and how that process has gone.
Yeah, so the best part about the art team is it's one guy. It's Demetrius Nastos. He's taken on all the aspects of the art. So everything visually you're seeing is all him, and he does an amazing job doing it. When we met Demetrius for the first time here, I was looking for artists on Instagram, trying to figure out styles that kind of fit what we were Alan and I were kind of figuring out, and it just seemed good for what we're doing, this dark, gritty kind of real world. And then we kind of ended up stumbling again or through Demetrius's work. And then immediately after that, we kind of messaged him. Right away, I kind of knew he was going to be the guy. He was just a go-getter from the beginning. He wanted to kind of show us a concept page of what he's capable of. And he was just like really going for it and loved the concept page, loved his work ethic immediately, and it just started to kind of steamroll from there.
Yeah, what I find interesting as I was going through it, it's mostly a black and white book, but it also goes with that aesthetic that I see Marvel doing a lot recently, which is the black, white, and red, or just the black, white, and color. In your case, it is red. What went into that decision?
So obviously, Walking Dead. I'm a big fan of The Walking Dead, and seeing their black and white, I was kind of used to that. But then I was always like, okay, I want that splash of blood. I want that splash of gore because, being a horror fan too, and a zombie comic for that matter as well, I thought it only made sense. But I also like the noir kind of feel to it because Avalon, has some noir elements to it as well. And also more of the noir feelings will come out in later seasons when we get there. Which is actually going to be very cool and kind of seeing Demetrius' style in that kind of storytelling aspect. But to kind of reverse it a bit, though, is, again, I love that look. And then when he was able to kind of articulate it, way better than I even originally thought about it in my head, it made that idea sound so much more, so much better, on paper. And then the cool thing, too, and I think this was just a conversation between Alan and I, and when we thought about it, like, why don't we just make, the oh crap moment at the end of the comic all color to really kind of have people go, boom, wow, this is crazy. And then it allows everybody to kind of look and just see the amazing work and the amazing detail that goes into Demetrius' style.
Yeah, it's interesting. I've been reading a lot of the black, white, and red stuff that Marvel's been putting out, and I think it's a really cool idea, really cool style. And they use it in different ways. Like the most recent one's the Darth Maul one. So I mean, there's an obvious reason for doing that.
Yeah, of course, yeah.
Yeah, but when I see it in your pages, like you said, it's mostly just the blood and the violence and the horror of it that adds a little bit to it. It's very cool.
Right, and right, I just thought it was necessary. I know Alan and I both did. That was, more than half the reason why it was going to be the case. When you're doing a zombie story and you're kind of that's kind of the big deal is blood and gore. So being able to kind of articulate that, especially the way that Demetrius does it. How the blood really pops on every page when it's there. It looks wet. It looks like it just brings you into it. Your eye is automatically drawn to it. And the way he does his grayscale, it's just like a perfect contrast. And again, he just brings such an awesome look to the story that we're bringing into it as well.
Yeah, definitely. Do you mind if I show a page?
Yeah, no, go ahead. Yep.
Okay. Because when I'm looking through it, I see this page in particular, and it's the one that really it's very horror-esque, so I guess avert
Makes
your
sense,
eyes
huh?
if you.
Yeah.
But it pops so well with what you're trying to do and what you're explaining, and it's this page right here in issue 5, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Part of me thought you were going to show that one. So that one is an amazing page, and this is all Demetrius is doing as well. Obviously we have the script there and what we want and all that as well. But when he read that, this is what he kind of came up with. When he told me the idea, or when he showed me the pencils, I was like, okay, it looks cool. I kind of see what you're doing. And then when he sent me, I guess we'll call this the colors though too, it just looked beautiful. Having the blood shape as the panel and everything, and just bringing that horror, grunt in, especially at that point in the story, adding the dramatic kind of bang to that moment as well. He killed that moment right there.
Yeah, 100%. And I was just looking through and seeing more and more of those moments. It's really great. So to get an idea, because right now, if people want to check out the campaign as we're recording this, it's still on pre-launch.
Yes.
So this is what I have right now when we go to it.
Yep.
What can people expect once this goes live? And do you have a date for it going live?
Yeah, it will actually be going live here today, September 6th at 7 p.m.
Okay, so as everyone's listening to this, it's already live.
So perfect. So it'll be live then. We have a lot of cool things to offer. We're actually going to be doing 3 different covers. 2 of the covers are going to be, they're all going to be done by Demetrius. One cover is going to be the standard. He's going to do a variant because I always love his covers, so I can't get enough of them. So he's going to do 2 of them. And then with the cool kind of unique touch to the finale of our season here, we're going to be doing a gold foil version of the standard cover. So it's you're going to get that kind of gold foil look to it and that cool kind of aesthetic there as well. We're going to be offering PDF catch-ups for anybody who's new and hasn't kind of got seen us yet and they're hearing us for the first time. PDF catch-ups, that is a very affordable price for anybody. A physical catch-up as well, issues 1 through 6 if you need a physical, which I'm more prone to. I enjoy those more. We're offering cover prints. We're offering posters. The 2 big kind of pledges that we're kind of offering this time around is a custom badge for Andy and Miller and their identification cards for being police officers as well. It's a bit pricey because it's going to be a real badge that police officers actually use. It's just going to be a custom one. And it's very exciting. It's to the point where I wish that I can make one for myself, but we'll get there when we get there, I guess. But for the people and all that stuff too, we're kind of offering that as well. And we're going to be obviously showing some incredible artwork that Demetrius has done in the past and coming up here in the present with issue 6 as well.
So first, I know you're new to comics, but listen, we love shiny things. So that gold foil.
Yeah. I started to learn that after a little while there too. Is just let's get some things that reflect some foil, some little cool things. I get that now.
Yeah, the one that always intrigued me because listen, I'm a cover A kind of guy. Whatever the creator, tells me is the A cover, that's what I'm going to buy.
Yeah.
But I find it really funny, and I've seen it a lot recently, these metal covers that came out of nowhere and have just blown up. And I'm like, yeah, I get it. Comics people love doing it. We went through the chromium. We went through everything.
Yeah. No, it's definitely, a thing because I agree with you as well. I'm a cover A person, so I really need that. But the unfortunate, I am a variant guy as well. So I don't want to, put those away as well. I like different covers, but I also understand that, the flip side to it as well is there's 50 different ones of one issue specifically. And you're like, okay, I can't get them all, but I'm on both sides of that spectrum there.
Yeah. Oh no, I'm the weirdo of the group because I know so many people I go to the comic shop with, and we use that Pullbox website for getting our comics on through the store, and they will like go through and check every cover for the book, and if it's like obtainable, like they got to pick their favorite one, get it. Where I'm just like,
give me the A. Yep, yeah. I guess it's a way simpler way of doing it though too. You don't have to stretch it out so much. But I agree with you. I agree with you there too. I agree. I'm on both sides of it.
Yeah. So you got the your regular artist is doing all of the variants. You didn't bring in any extra artists to help out.
No, so not yet. We have not done any variants with other artists quite yet. The only thing that, and this will be the first time as well, that we have done with a different artist with Avalon was the poster for this Kickstarter. He's a local guy, local Erie guy. He does a lot of the artwork for the Erie Horror Fest that we have here in town. It's a very big, awesome event for horror lovers as well. So, but like I said, he does the artwork for it. So he did an art piece for Avalon, Miss Martin, that is introduced in issue 1 as the first zombie person. So she's going to be the first big poster, and his Monster Mark is who did it. We'll be showcasing him as well if anybody kind of wanted to reach out to him and have their own stuff made by him. But he did an incredible job with it, and I can't wait for everybody to see it.
That's cool. In previous campaigns, what did the package look like when it was all said and done? Were you sending out like your basic cover A guy or person just bought one comic? Do they just get the comic, or are you throwing all kinds of goodies in there, bookmarks and whatnot?
So we do very simple like stretch goals. So like I've seen people who have stretch goals that are like crazy gaps in between. We like to keep it simple. I like, especially for the stretch goals, like I'm a big merchandise guy myself. So like when I want to offer it whenever it's possible to others. So when we hit these certain stretch goals coming up here, yeah, we're going to be offering the stickers. We're going to be offering some prints as well and things of that nature. This year, actually, it's a little bit further on the stretch goal, but we're going to be doing gold foil, the A logo that you see on our social medias. It's going to be the gold foil A version of that. So we'll be having some shiny stickers as well for that, but prints as well. So I'm a big merchandise guy. I like to have things myself. So I like to offer it when it's necessary.
I still think the weirdest I ever got was candy.
Okay, yeah, we're not offering candy. I can't confidently say that.
It was also a zombie book, actually. Yeah, it's a friend of the show, Will Robson, who did like some great like Avengers and a bunch of other cool stuff. Great guy. But he makes this really cool zombie book. And I remember I got the package, and it's just like it's got a candy eyeball in it.
Yeah, I can't. Cool idea, but I can't say that we're doing it. I haven't formally met Will Robson yet, but I've seen his stuff as of late. This last summer, actually, I've seen him. He popped up a lot for me on my social media things. I added him and all that stuff too. I haven't formally had a conversation with him yet, but he seems like a pretty cool dude.
Yeah, good people. Definitely someone good to know. Yeah. So look at the campaign. What's your goal going to be? Is it going to be like the other campaigns where it's around 12, 13?
Yeah. So we're kind of like a cool little touch to it. We're going to be doing 1282 for our goal. So 1,282. And that's basically our production label, name as well. So I did all the math, and as long as we kind of hit that goal, we're getting things out there, and that was always kind of our mindset with past goals as well. As look, we're not trying to, make this crazy amount of money for it. We just want to be able to pay for it and get it out there to people right now. And obviously the more the merrier, and the more support we can get, and the more things we're able to offer in future things and to live events that we kind of go to as well. So everybody's support obviously goes a long way with us. We try to use it in the most, productive way possible.
You doing a lot of cons?
Yeah, actually this year we did the most amount of cons that we've done so far. And the furthest one we went to this year was Boston, and I'm from Erie, so it's about an 9 hour drive. So that's a crazy drive there. So like I said, but we have, I think, 3 more remaining this year. I have our Erie Horror Fest that I already mentioned about, our Erie Comic Con, so 2 local events right now, and then the next one I will be doing an Ohio Con think it's this month as well. I can't remember. I have to check the event calendar, but we did a lot this year, which was really fun, and to be able to expand the radius as well. It's always great to do that and meet new people and have a conversation with them.
Yeah, definitely. Cons are a ton of fun. So it's a
Definitely.
great place to kind of get boots on the ground, as they say. So I guess kind of to wrap it up, you mentioned before that this is the end of the first arc or the first season, as you put it. How long do you, assuming we can fund this thing forever and everything goes swimmingly, how long do you see this comic going?
I have no specific amount of issues. I have a bunch of different like story plots that I kind of want to touch on. We got many years, by doing what we did right now. I can confidently say we got many years of Avalon, many issues of Avalon as well. I off the top of my head right now, I got like 4 or 5 arcs, that I have to touch on. And one thing that I've learned through the whole process is, I've brought this up as well. Our original issue 1 script was basically issues 1 through 3 condensed into one issue, and when we were going to push it out, that would have just been god awful. And good thing we pulled that back out and kind of stretched it out into the 1 to 3 issues you're seeing now. But that learning curve right there told me that all the ideas, all the arcs, and all that stuff we have, if need be, we could stretch it out and we could do a lot more cool things as well. Not stretch out in a bad way where it seems like slow or whatever, but which is actually like something that I worry about personally. But when you read issues 1 through 6, it's not slow, it's not too fast. I think it's a perfect pace of chaos, and we really wanted to articulate that with our first 6 issues here. Especially focus a lot on the beginning of the apocalypse rather than breezing by it, but really what I'm kind of talking about too is letting moments breathe when they need to breathe instead of rushing through stuff too. And that goes just because of the character arcs and character development that people go through, and and all that stuff forward.
Yeah, definitely, because it's one of those things that we don't think of much with pacing, but like it is one of my most frustrating things with like a new #1, where the first like 6 pages is just like a novel of this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, this happened, and here's our characters.
Yeah, no, that was actually one of the harder parts when we were first writing this was the issue 1, because I didn't want to do that so much. I didn't want to just be so like you said, just like this happened, this happened, this happened, literally word for word. And I think after we took it back and we really revisited it, I mean, I think looking back at all, there's still things I would like to change after growing and developing over the last couple of years here. But I'm pretty happy with issue 1 that we got right now. I think it's really good and a perfect introduction to what we're going to be telling.
Yeah, dude, I think the book sounds really cool. You're hitting on a lot of really important story notes and just real world things that I'm really glad to see somebody out. I mean, I know a lot of people are doing it, but I'm always happy to see more people hitting on some of these things. So
yeah,
it's really cool.
Thank you.
So as you're listening to this, the campaign is live and you can check it out. If people want to follow you online, where's the best place to send them? Whether you do Twitter, X, whatever we're calling it, all those different social medias.
The best place to look for us and the simplest place, I guess, would be avaloncomic.com. We have our website up and running. We have all of our social medias on that website as well. We're on all of them: Facebook, Instagram, X, TikTok as well. Kind of reach out to us if you have any questions as well. Always, if you do read it and you do, have any opinions about it, good or bad, please let us know. We like to kind of hear what everybody has to say about it. I want to learn I want to grow as a writer overall as well. So if people have, their opinions, please share it. We also add, if you want to be featured on our website, go to our Facebook account and leave a review on it as well. It will show your review on our website.
Very cool. And to everybody out there watching or listening to this, you know the drill. I've got links in the show notes. Those links will be to the Kickstarter page itself. And I also found the Avalon Comics link tree, which has all that stuff that Brandon just talked about as well in one convenient link. So you can check those out, check out the project. and hopefully back it. So, Brandon, the book looks really cool, and we'll be rooting for you. So, best of luck with the campaign moving forward.
Thank you very much, and thank you for having me on your show.